First Samuel 30, verses 3 through 6. When David and his men arrived at the town, they found it burned. Their wives, sons, and daughters had been kidnapped. David and the troops with him wept loudly until they had no strength left to weep. David's two wives, Ahinoam the Jezreelite and Abigail, the widow of Nabal the Carmelite, had also been kidnapped. David was in an extremely difficult position because the troops talked about stoning him, for they were all very bitter over the loss of their sons and daughters. But David found strength in the Lord his God. During the time David was fleeing from King Saul, who wanted to kill him, David and his men had lived among the Philistines in Ziklag. Now, on this occasion, David and his men had returned to find the city plundered by the Amalekites. This included their wives and children being taken. After considerable weeping, the troops talked about stoning David in their bitterness. Yet David found strength in Jehovah God. Just as we see him expressing many times in the Psalms, David trusted in God for deliverance and strove to do the will of God. There are moments in our lives that push us to the brink where we do not know how to go on and what we should do. While experiencing emotions that are fitting with great loss are entirely appropriate at these times, they should not be the end of the story. Unfortunately, there are many who only look for strength in themselves and in their physical circumstances. Then, when great devastation comes, they have nowhere they turn to push through the trials until their physical circumstances improve. Although they may pray to God and speak words that express faith, they may not actually look to the strength He provides to push them through. So today's response to hearing God's word is this: find strength in Jehovah God. No matter what your circumstances in life are, you must trust that Jehovah is the sovereign God who is over all. Know that if you live faithfully for Him, He has given you the tremendous blessing of prayer, and be comforted in His care for you. Trust that no matter what happens, God will be with you. God's will certainly be accomplished in the end. Although this is no guarantee that God will ease the burdens and pain you face in life, it is ultimately a guarantee that God will deliver your soul if you remain faithful to Him.